Hey, this is Racquetball Tim again, and we are going to do another gameplay analysis video. This one's for Paul. Paul is serving. He's wearing the blue shirt. Let's get it going here. See what happens. Paul came to Las Vegas. He's roughly a B player, maybe a high C, and he's playing against one of my other racquetball students, Roger. Roger's wearing the white. Let's see how they do here. Paul's lining up for the lob serve. Pretty good serve there. Roger takes it to the ceiling. Look at Paul. He's got his racket up. He's been to our racquetball camps. He's working hard on his mechanics and his patience. And we're going to see how it all comes to play right here. So he starts off the game with a half lob serve. Let's see how he progresses. I like the half lob serve. It forces my opponents to either try to cut it off, which they're either good at or they're not good at, or they have to wait for the ball in the back court. This is a high lob. Roger decides to wait for it, and that's trouble. That's a great serve there, Paul. Roger would do well to run up and cut that serve off, as I teach all of my students. If you watch where the first bounce is here, first bounce is right there. You're much better running up and cutting that serve off rather than waiting for it in the back corner. Very difficult to return it back there in the corner. So nice job by Paul. Let's see if he picked up on that. A lot of times when you hit a good serve, it's just a one-time situation. You really want to pick up on the fact that your opponent's struggling with it, and it looks like he did. He went to the half lob there. Just got kind of stuck out of position there, Paul. Not so bad. But Paul's always thinking. You'll see him after each rally. He's thinking. He's always trying to figure out what's working, what's not working. Smart shot there. Ceiling ball return. Tried to get out of the way. It might have been a replay. It was close. Roger didn't call it, so I like the hustle back to center court there, Paul. Perfect. Oh, now look, he got a couple weak returns off lob serves, but he's going to a hard... Oh, no, he's going to a soft Z serve. That's interesting. He's trying to mix it up, I guess. Paul, you're going to want to keep that Z serve off the back, though. Against a high-level player, they're gonna rip that ball off the back. Serving a Z serve from position 1 is what I call this position over here. This will be position 2. This will be position 3. From position 1, I like to hit my Z serves, my soft Z serves, or my lob Z serves from the backhand. It just puts a different spin on the ball, and it actually is much easier to keep it from coming off the back. So from where you're hitting this ball, it's going to come off the back a lot of the times. You're going to have to hit it very soft to keep it off the back. So as we roll it forward, Roger really should attack that ball right there, because you're out of position. He can hit a down the line. Actually, you're blocking his cross court. So he's got the down the line, and then the cross court, you're actually in the way. So you're going to want to get back out of the box quicker, Paul, and get back behind the dotted line much, much faster. But he did not cut it off, so you were okay, and this ball comes way off the back. So against a high-level player, they're going to destroy this ball. Roger didn't have his racket up, and he tried to hit a ceiling ball. That was actually a setup. So keep those balls off the back on that Z serve. Let's see how you progress here. Fast forward just a bit. So now the Z serve, he got a weak return, but look, he's going over to the right side. So Paul, what I would recommend, oh, I see, he's going with the Z serve to the right side. So he's kind of feeling out his opponent here. That's not so bad. Got a little lucky there, and Roger did a good job of hustling. But Paul, what I recommend in a real match, if you're playing for a tournament match or a league match, if you find a serve that's working, stick to it. Stick to that serve. Okay, so a couple of mistakes here. Let's roll this back a little bit. So Paul, we're going to have to work on your shots off the back wall. I believe we worked on it for our lesson, which was right after this match. This ball comes way off the back, and you should be letting this ball drop below your knees for a setup. Instead, you actually took a defensive shot in a spot where you should have went offense. You should have backed yourself up, probably right to back here. Then you could have let the ball drop farther down. So it came off the back, and instead you hit it waist high, and you actually hit a ceiling ball, which is a defensive shot. Roger takes an offensive shot, and look right here. Again, this ball is way off the back. Again, too high, and you're taking a defensive shot, a ceiling ball, in a spot where you really should be on offense. Now, if you notice on both of these shots that come off the back, you got jammed on both of them. See how close that ball is to you? You got jammed. So, Paul, when you get back home, when you're practicing, get yourself setups off the back, hit the ball into the back wall, give yourself setups, and work on hitting the ball at full extension. Don't get too close to the ball, Okay, don't get jammed by the ball. Don't get too close to it. Try to hit it at full extension. Let it drop, and you'll hit much more effective offensive shots, not defensive shots. I'm not sure what happened there. Might have got a little lucky there. Yep, okay. We'll take it. Always good to be lucky. So now we've hit a few different serves here. We're kind of feeling out our opponent. I want to see what we do next. Now we're going to a drive serve, it looks like. Now if you notice here, Paul, you're about to serve, and look where Roger's standing. You really should pick up on the fact that he's standing too far forward. All right, players that stand too far forward are susceptible to a lot of different serves. Straight drive in the corner will absolutely work because he has to actually move backward to return that serve. I find that a lot of players that I first meet for lessons, the one thing I have to fix is they stand way too far forward. Ass to the glass, pardon my French, but that's the phrase you want to remember. Get your ass to the glass when you're returning a drive serve. So he's standing too far forward, and you didn't look back to see where he was, so I want to see what kind of serve you're going to hit here. Z serve would be the wrong serve. That's a good serve. So as I mentioned, the first step is always backward when someone's standing too far forward. Watch his first step right here. Running backward, and you just cannot hit an offensive shot. It's just impossible. If you're out there and you're having struggles, and you're watching this video and you're having struggles returning drive serves, the chances are you stand too far forward. I would say 90% of people I give lessons to, that's the number one thing I fix, returning serves. So keep the game in front of you. All right, let's see what Paul does here now. The drive serve worked. He got an ace, so he's going to build off it. Let's see what he does. Again, Roger's too far forward. Oh, he hits the Z. Tries to mix it up by hitting a Z. Good, safe defensive shot there, Paul, but I think your position hurt you a little bit there. Let's see how you relocate it after the Z serve. All right, you hit your Z serve. Your goal is to get back to here, 1 to 2 feet behind the dotted line. You're still too far to the right. You're a little slow getting back there. You're trying to get back. And as he hits the ball, as he makes contact with the ball, look where you are. You're actually in front of the dotted line. So work on getting back much, much quicker. Here's a good piece of advice right here. When you hit your serve, your left foot, first of all, should be in front of your right foot. And if you look, I'm going to try to zoom in here. There we go. Your left foot is at an angle, and it's not in front of your right foot. Your left foot should actually be up there in front of your right foot. So as you drop the ball and you're hitting your drive serves, step straight toward the front wall. And then what you do is use your left foot to push off and get back in position. But your left foot was out of whack there. It was facing to the right, and then as a result, you're kind of not sure what to do with your feet, and you're trying to get back in position quickly, but it just didn't work. Roger actually gave you a pretty good setup here. You're a little late getting back, and this was an offensive shot. If you had backed up more, this ball was coming down toward the back wall, right about here maybe, and you could have taken an offensive shot, most likely some kind of pass this way. As a result of your poor positioning, you had to go ceiling, and you missed your ceiling shot. Let's take a look at your return to serve here. So Roger likes to drive serve. He's got a pretty good drive serve. Okay, so Paul's taking our racquetball cams. He's pretty far back, ass to the glass. Looks good. Okay, Paul, I recommend getting your racket down there. You have your racket up. It should be down and in neutral position, backhand grip. So you're holding the backhand grip as it looks like you are. I think we taught you that at the racquetball camp. Just keep it down just a little bit more. Most drive serves are going to be nice and low, so you want your racket down nice and low there. As you cross over, your racket comes up. Okay, so if you noticed, as he served that, you actually brought it down. So I would like your starting position to actually be right about there. See where your racket is right there? That's where I want your starting position. Serve comes off the back, and again, we got to work on your back wall game because this was a setup. Ball comes off the back, and you actually were swinging toward the back. All you had to do is back up a little bit there, let that ball drop off the back wall, and you would have had a nice down the line pass. So this is a good problem to have, Paul. I like your game. I like a lot of the things that you do on the court, and we just got to fix the back wall game. Shots that come off the back. That's a great ceiling ball. Your opponent hit a beautiful drive serve, and you went ceiling. What a great job that was, too, on the backhand. Beautiful, Paul. This was your best rally so far. Roger hit a nice drive serve. He gave you a weak return right here. Ball's coming off the back. You got your racket up. You let it drop. Nice and low. Beautiful. Nice flat swing and a perfect kill shot. Really good job there. Love to see that. Paul was an excellent student at the racquetball camp. He asked all the right questions. He was very technical. He wanted to know everything, and I love that. That's how I was too when I went to my first racquetball camp. And his mechanics have really, really improved over time. I love to see that. And with hard work, of course, too. That's another great lob serve. That's a pretty offensive shot there, Paul. I love the idea. It's pretty ambitious, though. On your backhand, you really want to be hyper defensive. What I mean is, on the backhand, you got to go ceiling a lot more than you would on the forehand. On the forehand, go ahead and shoot some overheads, some sidearm passes, tennis shots, if you will. On the backhand, though, when the ball's this high, it's like you gotta go ceiling. I'm not sure. Maybe you mishit it. Maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Looks like you were shooting down on that, though. I think you were going for a pretty ambitious passing shot. Whenever you do that, your opponent just steps up, and he's right there in position. And Roger hit a beautiful pinch shot there, which was also the right shot, too. Nice job, Roger. So let's see if you make that mistake again later. A lot of people make mistakes, and they don't learn from them. So I think you learned your lesson pretty good there. We'll see if you... Oh, what a shot by Roger. We'll see if you make the adjustment and play a little more passively on the backhand side. Okay, you're down and ready. Rackets. Oh, look at you guessed, Paul. You guessed. The number one rule in racquetball, do not guess. So for some reason, you were thinking he was going to hit a forehand serve, maybe? And look at your body. Whoops! You went the wrong way. And the ball went that way. All right. So Jason Menino, former number one player in the world, current IRT commissioner, once told me, always watch the ball. Never watch your opponent. Don't watch their head. Don't watch their feet. Don't watch the racket. Always watch the ball, because the ball doesn't lie. The ball is going to go where the ball is going to go. Sometimes your opponent's head will fool you, their feet will fool you, their hand, whatever. The racket, the angle that they swing at, they can really trick you. They can hit no-look shots, things like that. But if you just always watch the ball never lies. It just goes where it goes. So I think you maybe got sold on Roger's mechanics here or something. I'm not sure what made you, maybe his head, but you made you guess to the right. Don't ever guess to the right or the left. Just react to the ball. You have plenty of time. So that's a good lesson right there. I'm not sure if the serve was good or not. It might have been. Either way, you guessed wrong, so it's hard to call a serve like that short. I see Roger was asking me too. I can't remember what I called it. I guess it was good. Roger made a mistake. He hit an ace, and then he went to a lob serve. If you hit an ace, hit another one. Build off of it. So this was a much better offensive shot here. I know it was a high backhand, which kind of contradicts what I said earlier, but you were in better position here. You got to back up and let that drop, but the one you took earlier, you were much farther back. And this one, you saw Roger coming in, so you hit a nice backhand pass overhead. I don't mind that one so much. It's a little aggressive, and it's much better to back up and take the ball low anyway, but that was not the most ill-advised shot I've seen. All right, so you've been hitting some really good serves here, Paul, and you're getting a lot of weak returns. Let's see if you stick to it. We're down and ready. Good drive serve to the corner. Roger can't handle it, and that is another ace. We talked about the time that you take for your serves. You do have 10 seconds between rallies, and what I mentioned to you during our lesson is when you get ready to drive serve, take your time, but don't take your time in this position, because look at your feet and look at your legs. They are flexing right now and stretching, and you're expending a lot of energy in that position, and you stay down there sometimes for a good 5 to 7 seconds. You're going to expend a lot of energy like that. I like to bounce the ball around, walk around a little bit, think about my serve, then I get down and ready, and then I serve. And I know we talked about this for our lesson, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But I do want you to take note of that, just so you can see what I was talking about. Another great serve there, Paul. Keep hitting drive serves. That's one of your strengths. I love it. So you've been doing a static lunge for about 20 of the last 30 seconds. That's going to really, really, it's a great workout if you're trying to get a good workout. I like that. But if you're trying to win a match, it's going to be tough when you're playing 4 or 5 games. Your legs are going to be burning. Great hustle by Roger. There should be a pinch. We went with a reverse pinch. Okay, so let's talk about the shot selection right here. Roger hustled, and he saved the shot. You had him out of position. He's behind you, so a pinch is good. See how far back he is? Any pinch will do. Also, the second shot you could have taken was right down the line. That's a safe shot. Let's see. So you went for like a reverse pinch, I guess, here, and you just came up on it. Look how high you came up, Paul. Watch your knees. They're bent right now, but watch when you swing. You stand straight up. Look at that back leg. That back leg is just so straight. It's hard to keep a pinch down, and your racket comes up too. We're going to talk about that later with your backhand. Your racket comes up. You want to swing nice and flat and keep that racket nice and low. I don't mind the shot selection. You got kind of unlucky there. You hit the front wall first and then the side wall. A good pinch is side wall first and then front wall, of course. So I don't mind the shot selection there. Execution was off a little bit. I love to see this. If you're tired, turn around, put your racket up, face the back wall. You do have 10 seconds to return serve. We teach that at the racquetball camps, and it's one of the mistakes I see people make all the time. They don't take their time. Great shot by Roger, and an excellent retrieval there, Paul. You just missed the ceiling ball. Paul isn't just athletic for his age. He's athletic for any age. Very, very fit human being, and it really helps him on the racquetball court. Get your racket up, Paul. Nice. Oh, great ceiling ball. Roger just took a crazy shot and he got it. Okay, he did hit a very good shot there, but you could have got that. I'm going to show you why, okay? So I want you to watch your feet at the point of contact. Roger's just about to hit. You should be down and ready. Your knees should be flexed, and your feet should be a little bit wider apart. You're not in position, and as he hits it, watch, you're a little bit, whoa, where'd the ball go? And now you're down and ready, but it's too late, okay? So that's a huge, huge lesson right there. As your opponent's hitting, you should always be down and ready. Never assume they're going to hit a ceiling ball. Never assume you know what shot they're going to hit. Just get yourself down and ready and be ready to return the ball. So that second bounce was actually pretty far back. Look at that. You could have got that. If you were down and ready, you would have easily gotten that. You almost got it anyway. Nice hustle there. But if you were down and ready, you definitely would have got that ball. Let's fast forward a bit here. I do talk a lot. As a racquetball coach, I'm very passionate about the game, and my videos tend to run long. I want to make sure that I keep this under 30 minutes so I can upload it properly. Okay, great serve by Roger. He's got an excellent drive serve. And so you're turning your rackets up. I like that, Paul. Oh, you didn't quite turn far enough. It was a jam serve, which I like for mixture. On these ones, sometimes I don't get my right leg around too. Your right leg should be over here. You should be crossed over. The guys I play hit the serves, sometimes 130 miles an hour. If I don't have time, I like to flick this up to the ceiling because I'm not in an offensive position. So I'll just flick that up, which is what you tried to do. I think you got a little bit unlucky there. Maybe your focus was off just a bit, but that actually hit the corner of your racket. See that? Hit the frame of your racket. And you try to go ceiling, end up hitting like an around-the-world shot here. You're back in position, and Roger hit a great kill shot. Okay, one more time we're going to watch at the point of contact, though. Roger's got a nice forehand. So point of contact, Paul, look at your position. That's huge right there. I'm so glad we caught this on video. This is going to help you more than anything. It's helped my game more than anything. Look at your feet. You're not down and ready. Your knees aren't bent. Your feet aren't more than shoulder width apart. I like to imagine that I'm a cat and I'm ready to pounce. So I want to get as low as I possibly can and retrieve every shot possible. So he hits a pretty good shot here, but look at the second bounce. Again, that ball was definitely retrievable. Actually, second bounce at the dotted line. So if you were down and ready, it would have been a simple crossover, even a jab step, and you would have been able to not only get that ball, you may have been able to take an offensive shot with it. So Paul, that is going to be your homework right there, buddy. You are going to work on getting down and ready as your opponent is contacting the ball. That will help you go up a level. I'm telling you, that's a fantastic lesson. All right, so Paul's got his racket up, or his hand up. I would put your racket up, Paul, so they know that they can't serve. Again, there's that jam serve. You did a great job that time of hitting the ceiling ball. Ill-advised shot by Roger. And you tried to short hop that ball, which is the right play. I don't mind that so much, but you didn't square up to the side wall at all here. So watch, Roger takes an ill-advised shot, square up to the side wall, Paul. What that means is get your left foot around. You should be facing the side wall like a baseball player, and then your racket will come up. This is too difficult right here. You tried to underhand short hop a ball. It's too difficult. You're either going to have to play that off the back or square up to the side wall, and then you can hit that more effectively. Again, you're always thinking. I love that. If you make a mistake, there's no point getting upset. It's just all about diagnosis and analysis. What did I do wrong? How can I fix it? Another good jam serve from Roger. He was getting you with that jam serve. Another jam serve. Okay, so let's see this jam serve. Teach you how to get this back. Zoop. Alright, as soon as you see this ball traveling far to the left, right now, you should recognize by now that it's a jam serve. So you should actually be backing up that way. Okay? The second option is to follow the ball around on your forehand side. On this one, I might have taken a